While you're chewing dentine, it freshens your breath as effectively as even mouthwash.
That hat's just perfect and on sale. Too bad your breath will melt the veil.
Brush your breath, brush your breath, brush your breath with dentine.
WKGF presents The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
Good evening, my curious souls and seekers of the unexplainable. Welcome to the Witching Hour, where the night is long and the signal is strong, and tonight we're stepping into the shadows together, where the veil between the living and the otherworldly grows thin. This is the time when the strange and the supernatural come out to play, when the world around us seems to shift and the impossible becomes possible. For some, the witching hour is just a fleeting moment, a time of night when the air feels heavy and the darkness feels bright. But for those of us who have seen the unexplained, who have felt the cold touch of the unknown as I have, it's more than that. It's a reality. And it's a reality I love exploring with you right here every Friday night. I'm your host and your pal, Max Thorn, and 4 years ago I sat in a room one-on-one with a supernatural entity in women's clothing known as the Nightblade, and I witnessed a petite English lass disappear like a politician's promise after Election Day straight into the smoke-stenched ether of the Los Angeles Police Department, leaving behind nothing but a members-only jacket and a trail of dead bodies all the way to the Santa Monica Pier, and never to be seen since. Something like that really sticks to you like swallowed gum to an appendix. Joining me, as always, in the booth to my left is my producer, Ricky. Say hi, Ricky.
What's up, everybody? Glad you're here with us.
Dude, you know how I go to the movies every Friday before the show? Well, alright, no one to blame but me. But today, I picked Little Monsters. I thought it was going to be, like scary or like Monster Squatty. Oh boy. It is seriously Howie Mandel in blue makeup and the kid from the Wonder Years, both acting like a couple of boneheads for 100 minutes.
You didn't see the previews for it? It looked terrible.
No, I had no idea it even existed, and I wish I could keep it that way. Whew. I should have went to go see Lock Up again with Stallone. That one didn't disappoint. Anyway, ghosts and ghouls, since tonight is our first real show across the map, I want to hear from you. Whether you've got a tale of an unexplainable event, an encounter with something otherworldly, or a mystery that you want me to look into, I am here for it all. I've still got my trusty tape recorder, and I would love to hit the streets, do some digging, interview some weirdos, and report back to you. So pick up those phones and make it happen. 805-272-0089. Feel free to share what's been haunting you, what's been lurking in the shadows of your life. No story is too wild, no experience too bizarre. I can also look into your local legends or your local boogeymen. Hell, even if something really gnarly happened in your hometown and you want answers that the police won't give, I can give it a shot. Keep in mind, I'm no cop and my resources on actual crime might be limited, but I am very clever. So whatever spookiness you've got, I want. And that is the magic of the witching hour, isn't it? Coming together and figuring things out the best we can. So stick around, turn the lights down low, and let's hang out in the shadows together. All right, let's take our very first call in syndication. Hello, you are on the air with Max Thorn and the Witching Hour.
Hey, Max. Hey, I just wanted to tell you real quick that your voice is stupid and you suck.
Dude, Ricky.
Sorry, bud. That one got by me.
Maybe we should vet these calls a little better in the future. I thought you were a human lie detector.
That one's on me. Apologize.
Not off to a great start, Rick. Oh, man. Live radio. Nothing quite like it. All right, let's try that again. The second caller in syndication. We have Nick from Chicago. Nick, you were on the air with Max Thorn and the Witching Hour.
Hey, Max. I've actually been a regular listener for over a year now. I just never had a reason to call in before. I was going to call in last week, but the lines weren't open for your big syndication show, so I had to wait for today.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I'm just finally glad I'm able to get this off my chest. I don't know if I'm overthinking things, but I found something really weird a couple of weeks ago. Something that's kind of throwing me off.
So what's going on, Nick?
All right, so 2 weeks ago, I'm eating my breakfast, right? Fruity Pebbles while watching Saturday morning cartoons. I feel like I've never grown up. I still love sugary cereal, cartoons, skateboarding, all that stuff. My parents died when I was 17, and I've kind of, been on my own since then. So I'm sitting there eating my cereal, and I notice a picture on my carton of milk. You know how they do when they put pictures of missing kids and stuff?
Sure.
So I'm looking at this kid, and I see his birthday is the same as mine. January 4th, 1967. Same day, same year. The carton said he went missing when he was 7, so probably around 74 or so.
Did it make you a little more interested in this kid than you normally would be?
Yes, it was like, I don't know, I felt like I really needed to try my best to see if I could find this kid. It sounds stupid, but there was at least a mild connection there, So I start reading his description, and it says this kid was born in Greenville, South Carolina.
Have you ever been there?
No, never. Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. So that's where my interest kind of waned a bit, until...
Uh-oh.
It says the kid's got a scar on the webbing of his right thumb, and I have that. I've had it for as long as I can remember. I used to have this oversized train set that went all over the living room, kind of like a cheap version of the one from Silver Spoons. Mom said I was playing with it and managed to get my hand run over by it, and that's what caused the scar. Except I have no recollection of that because I was, really young. I remember the train, though, but from when I was older. So anyway, I keep reading, and this kid had a dog bite scar on his left leg in the same spot I have a dog bite scar. Apparently, my neighbor's dog got agitated with me and bit me when I was about 5 or 6.
Do you remember that happening?
No, I only remember because my parents told me that's where I got it. It's hardly noticeable, so I never really gave it much thought.
All right, Nick, I'm intrigued. Keep on going.
So, back to the kid, I guess. The kid's face, it doesn't, look like me. But the more I stared at it, the more I could kind of, see the resemblance. But I wasn't sure if I was just freaking myself out or gaslighting myself into thinking it's me. I'm just Nick Palmer from Chicago, Illinois. As far as I know, I've lived here my whole life, and nothing exciting or memorable has ever really, happened to me. I live alone. I don't go out much. It was stupid. I was trying to find something that wasn't there. It was just a coincidence, and I needed to go back to watching my cartoons and living my boring old existence. So, that's what I did. But that night, I had a dream. It's a dream I've had before that I never really remember until I have it again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that actually tracks with how like some dreams work, especially the recurring ones. People tend to forget them completely until they dream them again. It's like the brain files it away somewhere deep, and only when that same dream resurfaces does the memory of the past versions come flooding back. And even then, it's fuzzy. It's just fragments and a feeling, or but something about it lingers, like a scent you can't place, but you know it means something. So what was the dream?
It's vague when I wake up, but detailed when I'm asleep. I mean, at least that's the way it feels. I'm in this dark room and I can't move. And there's this woman. She's screaming, just screaming, going crazy. I don't know where she is. It sounds like she's in the room next to me because the screams sound muffled. But again, it's so dark, I'm not even sure where I am, let alone her, you know. But in the dream, I know who it is. But when I wake up, I'm clueless. And like I said, I usually forget about it until it happens again. Only now, since the milk carton incident, I've had the same dream every night, almost 2 weeks straight now.
Wow. Well, dreams can be tied to things in your past. Some people have traumatic memories that get buried, but I get why you're freaking out. It's a lot to process.
I thought I was like misremembering, or maybe I was just thinking about it too hard. You know how you do. But I can't stop looking at that picture on the milk carton. Like, the milk is long gone, but I kept the carton.
What's the kid's name?
Nathan Paramore. NP. Same initials as me, Nick Palmer.
Ooh, okay. Have you tried checking your birth records? I mean, maybe you should check with like your parents' old records and stuff.
I can't. They're both dead. I'm on my own here.
No, I know, but do you have access to any of their things still? Like, it's definitely worth digging into. Look, I can't tell you what's happening here, but if it was me, I'd start checking public records, birth certificates, missing persons files. Maybe there's something that connects you to this kid, and maybe not. Maybe it's all just a big coincidence. But it definitely is triggering something in your subconscious that deserves attention. I would try to track down any old medical records from when you were younger, see if they match this kid's description. Okay, I've got a question for you that I feel I need to ask. How did your parents die?
Okay, they were murdered, Max. Someone came into our home while I was out with friends my senior year of high school. They were both killed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know, Max. I just have a feeling that no matter how hard I look, I'm not going to turn up anything. The more I think about it, the more I realize that my childhood memories were fed to me by my parents. Like, they told me stories of stuff I did so much that they formed real memories in me. Like, why do I still watch Saturday morning cartoons and eat kids cereal and do all this other kid stuff? I am a grown man. I have a boring desk job, but every time I return home, it's like I'm 7 years old again. It's just so weird. Like, am I crazy?
No, Nick, you're not crazy. Something strange is happening here, and I don't think you're going to find the answers easily. But whatever's going on, you're not alone. You've got your head on straight. Start small. Track down the birth certificate. See if you can find any records. Even look into this Nathan kid. Track down his birth certificate. Find his records. If you need help, don't be afraid to reach out, because I love digging into stories like this. Do you mind if I pass you off to my producer to get your information? I would honestly love to help however I can.
Thanks, Max. I'll take all the help I can get, and thank you for telling me I'm not crazy. I needed to hear that. I'll see what I can find. I don't know what else I can do. Thank you.
Take it one step at a time, Nick. And I say this to a lot of callers that are dealing with unsolved mysteries. Be careful. Take every precaution you can. You have no idea what's out there. Okay, I'm going to transfer you over. Let us know what you find, and I will be in touch. Thank you for your call.
Thank you so much.
Whew, okay, that's wild. If anyone in the Chicago area, or I guess anywhere, has any information about this story, you know who to call. 805-272-0089. That is wild. There is so much weird stuff out there in the world that gets swept under the rug because people don't want to believe. They don't want to believe that anything other than the boring status quo exists. Putting blinders on and moving forward at all time is so much easier to do than questioning the strange events happening every day in life. But that's what we're here for. If the people you know won't believe it, give us a shot. Our listeners are ready and willing. Okay, back to the phones. Ricky is busy with Nick, so I will choose Tiffany from Connecticut. Tiffany, you are on the air with Max Thorn and the Witching Hour.
Hey, do you cover aliens?
Aliens? Of course aliens. What do you got for me?
So I work at a store here in town, and one of my coworkers, Lisa, I think she was abducted by aliens or something.
Why do you think that?
She's not the same anymore. One day she was totally normal, and the next day it's like she had her memory wiped clear. Is that possible? I've worked for her for 2 years, and when I said hi to her, it was like she forgot my name. In fact, I saw her glance down to where my name tag should have been, but I hadn't put it on yet. I don't know what to make of it. There's other things too, she forgot her combination to her locker, and I heard her ask someone where the bathroom was. We've worked there for years, Max.
Thank you for shopping at Belmont's. We appreciate your business.
The store was loud. It's always loud. The cash registers, the chatter from the walking corpse customers, the jarring sound of shoes squeaking against the tile, the same 20 songs pumped through the speakers over and over. It's been the longest day ever. I've looked at the clock at least 1,000 times today. When will it ever end?
I need to return this. The tags lied.
Okay.
Thank you for shopping at Belmont's. We are now closed.
Finally, I made it. What a day. I'd been working the late shift at Belmont's department store all week, getting ready for the big holiday rush, because as you know in the retail world, once the back-to-school sales end, it's officially Christmas time. I was pulling out all the winter stock, folding shirts, arranging the racks, the usual stuff. I work in the women's department. It's the first department just inside the main doors, so there is constant traffic all day long. Usually I love being here after hours. There's nobody to bother me or ask me dumb questions, and the quiet, it's literally the best part of my day. But tonight, I don't know. Tonight feels different. All day it's felt like something is a little off.
Bye, Lisa. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Pearl. See you tomorrow. I said goodbye as the last employee left, leaving me here alone, and slightly weirded out. It almost felt like someone was watching me, which is absurd because we don't even have security cameras yet. But I don't know. It's felt like that most of the day. As I was making my rounds, I noticed something kind of weird. The mannequin I had just set up by the door earlier tonight wasn't there anymore. I had dressed it in a Guess t-shirt under a Gitano jacket with a Jordache high-waisted acid-wash jean and some LA Gear sneakers with Bobby Brooks, and I thought she looked super cool. But all those clothes were now piled on the ground, and the mannequin was standing by my register, naked. Oh, probably Josh, the store joker. He moved it before he left as a big joke. Hilarious. Come on, Ms. Mannequin. Let's get you back to where you belong. What was that? Hello? Okay, Lisa. It's your bedtime. You are obviously sleep deprived. 1 more hour, then you're in bed watching that horror flick you rented. You got this. I wish I could say that was the end of it. As the night wore on, things got worse. The mannequin, it kept moving. I swear I would leave to stock some shelves or straighten up, and when I came back, it was always in a different spot, sometimes facing the wrong way, sometimes closer than it should have been. I would place it back every time, but it didn't feel like I was in control of it. Someone was playing a very sick joke on me. But who? I am positive there was no one in this store. I know this sounds crazy, but you have to believe me. Whatever this was, I didn't want to play anymore. I grabbed that dumb mannequin and dragged it back to the front door and decided I was not taking my eyes off of it until it was time to clock out. 22 more minutes. I can do this. I stood there at the register and stared at that milky white plastic body and blank face as the clock ticked away the seconds until my freedom. Ten more minutes until punch-out time. 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. I must be sleep deprived. It's gotta be it. That thing hasn't moved at all. What is wrong with me? Oh, that's it. Time to go. Finally, just grab your bag and walk right past that stupid thing and straight to your car. This is embarrassing, Lisa. I was headed to the door when I caught something out of the corner of my eye. The mannequin was still there, right where I left it, but I swear, her head was turned towards me, watching me go. I've been staring at that damn thing for the last 25 minutes, and I am positive that head was facing forward. Now its neck is turned, looking at the doors I'm about to walk out. Head down, Lisa. Just keep your head down and walk out. The alarm is set. Just go. Just go. Nope. I was out. I made it. Oh my God, Lisa, I hope no one saw that. You will be ruined. Your social life will flatline. Okay. Time to go home. Wow, you made it, Lisa. Congratulations. Something to really be proud of. When I was leaving the parking lot, I checked my rearview mirror. Oh my God. There it is. The mannequin outside of the store, standing on the sidewalk, its milky white body almost glowing from the lights above it. It was looking at me. It was looking at me, looking at it. I slammed on my brakes, turning my head to make sure the exterior lights and fog weren't playing tricks on my eyes, but there it was, as plain as day. Its head was facing forward again, and through the fog, I could see it move. It moved, its head tilted as if to study me. That's it for me. I just drove. I tore through the parking lot, I blew through stop signs and one street light until I was on the open road. It hadn't followed me. I double-checked at the next stoplight, and there was nothing. There wasn't a soul on the road but me. I was clear. Home sweet home. Time to calm down a bit, Lise. A bath should do it. Then I'll crawl into bed, put that movie on, and forget all about what I thought I saw. I'll be fine. But as I sank into the warm water, the feeling of being watched didn't go away. I finished up and got into my pajamas, then crawled into bed. It was a naked night kind of night. The horror movie I rented would have to wait till tomorrow. I was no longer in the mood. It didn't take long for me to fall asleep. What? Who's there? Oh, I must have had a nightmare. It wasn't a nightmare. Someone was tapping on my sliding glass door. I looked, but I couldn't see anything outside. I was hallucinating. I had to be. There it was again. I'm not hallucinating at all. I turned off the TV, plunged my bedroom into darkness, and there it was. The mannequin at my sliding glass window, that blank white face still staring at me. wasn't standing there anymore. It was walking towards me. What do you want? Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. I couldn't move. I was frozen stiff. It was like a bad dream when you try to run, but your legs don't work. Please. It reached out and grabbed my face. I could feel its cold, plastic fingers press against my cheeks as it forced me to look into where its eyes should have been. That blank face. It was moving. It was shifting like someone was inside trying to push their face out. I saw a nose first, followed by lips. It looked so familiar. It looked like me. I don't know how long I was out. I have no idea what time it is. I can't feel my body. I can't move. It's like I'm wrapped like a mummy. No, that can't be. I'm at work. No. No, this can't be.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, another day in paradise.
Yeah, I can hardly wait.
That's not me. She stole my body. The mannequin stole my body. Oh my God, here she comes. She's walking over to me. It's like looking into her mirror. Hell of a night, huh, Lisa? That's not me. Somebody stop her. I imagine you're pretty mad right now. I know I sure was. You're probably yelling at me, calling me every name in the book, but no one can hear you, just like no one could hear me until I figured it out. Hey, maybe you'll figure it out one day too. In the meantime, though, thanks for the body. It's cute. You're not going to get away with this. People are going to notice you're not me.
Hey, Lisa, you got a customer.
Uh-oh. Looks like I've got some work to do. Toodles.
No.
I just don't know what to think. Do you believe in pod people? Do you think aliens came down and swapped her and the person that's been at work this last week was really an alien in disguise?
Ah, the age-old question. Are the pod people really among us? That topic has been keeping science fiction writers in business for decades. Even the hacks. Thanks for calling, Tiffany. I know you're in a different time zone out there, so thanks for staying up extra late with us. Now let's get back to the subject of aliens. They have fascinated me for a while now, and I'm not just talking about Alf, although he fascinates me as well. Love Alf. So, if you ask me whether I believe aliens exist, I would say that the universe is too big and too old and too full of weird, random possibilities for us to be the only ones out there. I think most people underestimate the size of space. You can tell them it's infinite and they won't get it. So, let's take a second to break it down. Right now, astronomers and other people mildly smarter than me estimate there are at least 100 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy alone. That's home to us. But beyond that, there are at least 100 billion other galaxies in the observable universe. That's a 1 followed by how many zeros? I don't know, 11, 12? Doesn't matter. A lot. Each of those galaxies is packed with hundreds of billions of stars, most of them with planets around them. And you're telling me that in all that real estate, Earth is the only place with life? That's like dipping a big gulp cup into the ocean, filling it with a centimeter of water, not finding a fish in it, and saying, "Well, I guess there's no such thing as fish." That's ridiculous. But pod people, that's where things get interesting. See, if extraterrestrial life evolved on another planet, the chances of it looking anything like us are pretty much zero. Life adapts to its environment. Our shape, our senses, our biology, our love of processed pig parts in tubular form all come from millions of years of survival on Earth. But out there in the great unknown, the possibilities are endless. Maybe creatures evolve in methane oceans under thick ice, or develop silicone-based bodies like Gumby. Maybe they communicate through electromagnetic pulses instead of words. If an intelligent species from a place like that wanted to come here to Earth, they wouldn't just slap on a pair of Jordache and a trench coat. They'd have to either construct bodies that pass as human or find a way to replace us entirely. And if they've cracked that code, well, your friend forgetting your name might be the least of your concerns. So, Tiffany, you say your friend forgot your name and couldn't find the bathroom at work. That's weird, for sure. But before we declare her an alien replicant, let's rule out a few usual suspects. Stress, exhaustion, maybe becoming a bit too friendly with Bartles and James. Who knows? But if she starts to eat shrimp shells and banana peels, or suddenly develops an eerie hive mind mentality with others causing their heads to expand like Brainiac, well, then we might have a real problem. Do you think if the aliens have infiltrated that they would start with Tiffany's friend, though? Or would they go big? Maybe Reagan has been a pod person since '84. That would certainly explain a few things. Maybe that's how David Coverdale was able to switch from a good band like Deep Purple into a great band in Whitesnake. That is inhuman. Or maybe it's why Eddie Van Halen plays like he's got an extra set of fingers. Maybe the reason Axl Rose can hold a note so long is because he doesn't need to breathe like the rest of us. Or maybe, just maybe, they're already on our radio waves, listening and learning and waiting. Because the question was never if we will make contact. It's when we will make contact. But hey, let's not panic just yet. Things are looking up, the wall's coming down, and the 90s are looking bright. Thank you for your call, Tiffany. Keep an eye on your friend, and if she suddenly stops blinking, you call me right back. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's see. Let's go to April from Riverside. April, you are on the air with Max Thorn and the Witching Hour.
Oh, awesome. Hey, have you heard anything about FB's toys here in the Riverside Mall?
No, I don't think so, but I'd love for you to tell me about it.
I've been hearing bad things about it for a while now, but I don't know. Recently, I've just had this really, really bad feeling. Like something awful is going to happen.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Awful how?
That's the thing. I don't know. One of the aisles there, it's haunted. Like, for real's haunted. And I don't know, lately, it's like I can't shake the feeling that something bad is about to go down. You know that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when you think about certain things and your body just kind of knows something not great might happen? That's what I feel about FBs. I won't even go in there anymore. Is that, like, something you could take a look into? Maybe talk to some people and see what's up. Or if anyone else feels like I do?
Absolutely. Riverside is only a couple hours away. If there are rumors about it being haunted, then I shouldn't have a hard time tracking down people that want to talk to me about it. I actually am going to pass you back over to my producer, Ricky, and you fill him in on the details, and I'll see what I can dig up.
Thank you so much, Max. I'm loving the show, and it's a lot of fun.
Love to hear it. All right. Thank you, April, for your call. Let's go to... How about the second Tiffany of the night? Tiffany, you're on the air with Max Thorn and the Witching Hour.
Hey, Max, thanks for taking my call. We need your help out here in Austin, Texas. Kids are going missing ever since a Scoopy's ice cream truck has been seen stalking neighborhoods. So far, all I've got is rumors, so it's nothing I want to share with you on the show just yet, but I would love for you to take a look into it. If you could go out to Austin and maybe do some snooping around. I know you've done that before, and that would be great. It's Scoopy's ice cream truck. Austin, Texas. Please, man.
Oh, okay. I don't think I can get out to Austin this week, but I can make some calls and do some digging. I'm really good at it. I'm going to transfer you to my producer, Ricky. Give him a few minutes. He's still on the line with the previous caller. And fill him in, and I'll check it out.
Thank you. We appreciate it. The kids, everyone's in a bit of a panic.
I'm always happy to help. All right. This is The Witching Hour. I am Max Thorn, and we will be right back.
Here's Cal Worthington and his dog Spot. If your lady's trying to catch pussy cow, come throw her in a flash, pussy cow. If other dealers you have cussed, here's a dealer you can trust. All you have to do is just pussy cow. You know, everybody in town is advertising new 88 model cars and trucks. We're selling 89s, brand new 89s at the very same prices. Look at this. A brand new 89 Ford Festiva, $54.95, $95 a month. A brand new 89 Ford Mustang, $89.95, $149 a month. And look at this, an 89 Ford Probe, the all-new Ford Probe. You got to drive this car, $94.95, $163 a month. And 89 Ford Taurus, $109.95, $189 a month. And 89 Ford Aerostar, $99.95, $173 a month. And 89 Ford and F-150 pickup, $99.95, $173 a month. The 89 Ford cars and trucks are on sale at the same prices. Hey, come and see us. It's Worthington Ford in Long Beach. Worthington Ford in Long Beach, where your friends are. Open to midnight. See you here.
We now return to The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
All right, welcome back. Let's go to the phone lines. We have Carrie White. All right, Carrie White, what do you got for me?
Hi, Max. I'm not sure about this or what'll happen to me for making this call, but I feel like I have to.
All right, go on.
You're not going to believe me.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Please just try to believe me, okay? I can promise you I'm not creative enough to come up with this story.
I promise.
Okay. First of all, let me get the lies out of the way. My name is not Carrie White.
Yeah, I figured that. I've seen Carrie.
Sorry. And I'm not from Los Angeles. And I'm going to give some details, but never mind. Okay, here we go. So, I'm in high school. And just about 6 months ago, I was in the locker room after tennis practice, talking to a few friends. One of them was Claire Standish, not her real name. Anyway, she was yammering on and on about college and all the schools she got accepted to, and there I was, barely passing pre-algebra. She asked which colleges I got accepted to, which really made me mad because she knows the answer is none. I didn't even bother taking the SATs. She's my best friend, but sometimes she could be a real jerk, especially if we're around other girls, which we were that day. So they kept going on and on about their futures and how great everything will be, and once again, here I am, a lousy 98-pound tennis player with absolutely nothing on the horizon. I'd probably end up dirt poor, living in some crappy apartment with an abusive husband, or worse, being 40 and still living with my parents. I used to think about that a lot. So, yeah, I wasn't in the greatest moods when I finished getting dressed and took off. I didn't even say bye. I thought I must have gotten up too fast because I had a sharp pain in my head and was a little wobbly on my feet when I left the gym and stepped out into the daylight. But I composed myself, shook it off, and continued my walk home. Walking was faster than taking the late bus, so I did it more often than not. So there was a Radio Shack that I passed every day. But that day it was gone, like gone. The signs were taken down, the store empty, and I swore it was there the day before. This was something I walked by every day of my life. A few other things were weird too, like the grass in front of Mr. Bloomquist's house that was dead that morning but was now bright green. Oh, God, did you hear that? Sorry, it's just I'm expecting somebody. I've got the phone cord stretching all the way to the basement of my parents' house. They still live here since I haven't done anything wrong yet.
Not sure I'm following you here, Carrie.
I know, I'm sorry. I have to give backstory or you really won't believe me.
It's okay, go ahead. Are you hiding in the basement?
I'm not hiding. That would be pointless. Nobody can hide from him. I just needed to make this call in private. Anyway, I already had this feeling of unease, and seeing the grass just made it worse, and I just wanted to get home ASAP. But when I got home, my house was abandoned. Overgrown grass and weeds everywhere, and my parents were nowhere to be found. So, yeah, by now the creepiness factor had set in, and without any other options, I ran back to school. The library stays open till about 5 or so I had some time. First thing I did was call my mom from the payphone out front, but the number had been disconnected. I tried her work and was told she hadn't worked there in several months. When I went inside, the librarian started giving me a strange look, and I just knew, that I didn't have much time. No idea what or why. It was just instinct. I ran back outside and I used my last quarter to call Claire's number. Out of service. Unsettling, to say the least. I went back inside and started looking around. Everything about the place was just a little off. I couldn't pinpoint it. But then I saw a calendar. It was April still, but the calendar said it was 1990. I tried to play it cool. I walked up to the librarian and played the ditz. Like, I asked her what the year was. She confirmed it was 1990.
Okay.
Please just hear me out. If you don't want to believe me when I'm done, that's fine. But I have to tell someone or I'm going to go crazy.
No, I won't interrupt anymore. Go on.
So anyway, a year ahead, okay? It explained the closed store, the green grass, and the missing parents. Where they went, I had no idea, but something told me I had to keep moving. That librarian was on the phone and glaring at me. I had to go, but I decided to look at the local newspapers from the time I missed. They were stored on film and easy. It was easy to go through. And even better than that, the booths were tucked away in the corner so I could hide. I don't even know what I was hiding from. I just knew I had to hide. I'm not gonna lie, I was panicked. Where were my parents? And why was Claire's phone disconnected? She talked on that thing all the time. I spent about 20 minutes scrolling through the papers looking for any clue, and that's when I saw it. It was from November 1st of this year, 89. And when I saw it, I thought I was going to barf.
Uh-oh. What did it say?
It said, and I quote, "Beloved high school student brutally murdered by best friend." I literally had to fight the urge to throw up. I was stuck in a bad dream, and I wanted desperately to wake up. I forgot all about the librarian and kept scrolling and scrolling. According to everything I found, I murdered Claire on Halloween night, 1989. I stabbed her multiple times in the chest, and before she even fell, I cut her throat. Apparently, I staggered out of the Halloween party covered in blood, and I was picked up walking down the middle of the street, the knife still in my fist. The report said I was currently awaiting trial in, well, a local prison for women that I'm not going to name. I grabbed the sweatshirt out of my backpack and pulled it on, having the hood cover as much of my face as possible, and took off. The librarian's gaze followed me out the whole way. Once outside, I got a very weird feeling again. It was almost like my brain finally caught up to my heart and figured out this was a dream and I would wake up soon. It made me worry a little less, but that feeling didn't last long. It was replaced by a splitting headache. My mind flashed back to a year ago, me walking out of the gym, headed home. I had that same woozy feeling I had that day, and that's when I knew I was going to be back in 1989 soon. This, whatever it was, maybe a dream, maybe not a dream, was temporary. I was getting a glimpse of something I probably wasn't supposed to see, and I have no idea why. I made my way to the shopping center near my house, and I stole a newspaper from the grocery store. I just needed something from 1990 to hold on to, some sort of proof. I rolled it up and stuck it in my back pocket. I had to call the prison, but I was out of change, so I walked back into the store and asked the employee if I could use their phone. The guy just nodded and then led me to customer service, where he handed me the phone. I asked for a phone book and looked for the number, and soon I was on hold with the prison. My mind started to wander to greed. Like, I could go back to the library and get a bunch of scores from Sporting News or lotto numbers. Then, if I do go back, I could make a killing. Sorry for the pun, but no crappy apartment for me, no dead-end future, if it worked. I had to at least try. If you think that makes me a bad person, that maybe my priorities are a little out of whack, then just wait, I get worse. When the lady at the prison picked back up, I said I was Carrie's sister, and I needed to talk to her. I needed to talk to me. The only problem was I didn't have a sister, so I used the name Patty Macaroon. Why Patty Macaroon? That was the name of my imaginary friend when I was a little girl. No one else knew the name but me. That ought to ensure that future me would take the call, I thought. Since future Carrie hadn't had her trial yet, I was able to set up a visit for her later in the day. The lady on the phone gave me the details and I hung up. I had some time to kill, so I walked back to the library. I pulled my sweatshirt up again and tried to hide the best I could, but nobody cared. Nobody noticed. I got a microfilm machine, tore a piece of paper from my notebook, and started scribbling down all the sports scores I could find before it was time for my appointment with future me. I was hoping to get more afterward, but that didn't really pan out. So, here's where it gets really weird, and maybe you can prove it's true, and maybe you can't. But when I walked into the prison, the visiting room thing, things went very, very wrong. There I was, staring at myself. Myself was staring back at me. I tried to explain, but the other me just sat there, breathing so heavily she was almost panting like a dog and staring at me, her eyes piercing me until she jumped up and started smashing her head against the corner of the table, over and over, blood flying everywhere with each thrust until she just dropped. Guards came and got her, but she was dead. I felt it. My body temperature dropped, and I began shivering like I had just plunged myself into an ice-cold lake. That's when I saw him, a hovering, cloaked figure floating in front of me. Death himself. I couldn't move. Nobody else seemed to notice, but there he was, his face shrouded in darkness, the edge of his cloak moving like vapor. He knew something was wrong. He came to collect me, but there I was, sitting right in front of him, alive and well. while another version of me was being rushed to the hospital ward. Death reached out his bony hand towards me, extended one chalk-white finger, and pressed it directly into my forehead. My vision went splotchy. My head felt like it was going to explode. Then, there I was, at school, just outside the gym locker. Claire, standing over me, laughing that I had passed out, and still managing to make a joke at my expense. A few other girls were gathered around. Apparently, I had fainted, but I knew that was a lie. The newspaper was still in my back pocket. I could feel it. I got to my feet and took off as fast as I could. The Radio Shack was still there, open for business as usual, but their days were numbered. I checked the newspaper plain as day, April 4th, 1990. The sports scores were still scribbled in my pocket, and death was still looming like my shadow in the late afternoon sun while I ran home from tennis practice. He's been with me ever since. I can lose him for a while if I really try, like now, but he always shows up. He'll be here soon, that much is certain. Every damn day, Max, every damn day, death is with me. Can you hear that? I told you, that's him now. He knows I have a job to do, and he's here to make sure I practice and do it right. He says this will be some sort of trial run. I know what I'm getting into this time. I'll be more careful. Max, I am literally the girl who survived death's touch. I'm an asset to him now, I feel. And honestly, I'd rather be an errand girl for death than die in a woman's prison.
Wow.
So we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out this Halloween. You don't believe me at all, do you?
It's not that I don't believe you. I mean, for the most part. I can tell you're a theater kid and not a tennis player. I think I've got that down. But I don't think you're acting. At least, I don't believe you are.
Do you like baseball, Max?
Oh, I love it.
Who's your team?
Dodger fan. Lifelong, of course.
Okay, hold on. Oh, Dodgers didn't do too well this season.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to tell you something that will hopefully prove I am not a liar. During this year's World Series, on October 17th, something extremely memorable will happen. An act of God, as they say. It's nothing that can be prevented, and I'm not comfortable saying exactly what it is because I just have my reasons. But you will hear about it. It'll be impossible not to hear about. And you'll know I'm not a liar, and you'll know what I have to do, whether I want to or not. But I am going to do it right this time. I'm not sure why I have to do it, but it's been made clear that it needs to be done. And if I get away with it, then hopefully Death and I can work out a deal, and I'll get more jobs and, avoid my fate. One thing's for sure, I'll do better than I did last time. Walking down the street in a daze for me. Nope, this time I'm prepared. I got a mask and everything.
I can't condone this.
I don't need you to condone it, Max. It's either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll have this as proof that I was, let's say, coerced into doing it. That's why October 17th is so important. So, if I get away with it, you'll never hear from me again, okay? And if I don't, well, Max, you can have the exclusive interview. Deal?
Well, I'd rather have nothing to interview you about, honestly.
Well, you'll find out on Halloween, or the day after. I'm sorry to use your show as my platform. I just didn't have any other ideas. Please don't think I'm a bad person. I really don't think I'm a bad person. And I don't want to do what I have to do. But since I have to do it, I may as well be good at it. Like, I was thinking about my future self, the one who, I was trying to figure out what she was thinking when she smashed her head into that table. It must have been quite a shock for her to see me, and in some weird way, I think maybe she saved my life by taking hers. gave us a new chance. Both of us.
Oh my God, what is that?
That's him, Max. He's here. It's time to practice. Wish me luck, Max. Please.
I don't know what you want me to wish you luck for. It sounds like a lose-lose situation here.
It's okay. I understand.
All right, Carrie, or whatever your name is. That is one hell of a story. I mean, I've heard some wild calls here before, but you've got time travel and doubles and gambling and, you know, the literal embodiment of death as your personal sidekick. And now you're running errands for him. So, look, I'll be honest. My first instinct is to say you took a nosedive off the front of the stage during theater class, or hit in the head at tennis practice, as you said, and had a stress-induced hallucination. And this whole thing spiraled into some waking nightmare. That's the rational explanation. But the problem with rational explanations is that they don't always account for everything, like the newspaper. And let's face it, if everything had a rational explanation, this show wouldn't exist, and we would all be really bored right now. So, if I take you at your word, Carrie, you cheated death, and rather than being struck down on the spot, got recruited. And if it happened to you, it stands to reason it's happened to others. Are there a whole group of serial killers out there taking orders from a skinny guy in a cloak? Yeah, Death himself. That's where it gets interesting. See, people have always talked about death as more than just a force. It's a presence or an intelligence, and it's something that notices and something that pays attention and takes notes, something I never did in school. You hear about these old myths where someone tricks death, plays chess with them, sneaks their way out of their fate, but they all end the same way. You can't win against death. You might get a few extra innings, but the game never ends in a tie. So, that's my question for you, Carrie. Are you sure you're still playing? You say he's always with you. Have you ever asked why? Because from where I'm sitting, you didn't escape death. You just temporarily changed the rules. So, as for the time travel angle, well, if you really did jump ahead a year and see something you weren't supposed to see, that opens up a whole other can of worms. It's the classic time travel paradox. If you saw a future where you were convicted, but now you know about it, does that future still exist? Or did the mere act of seeing it change it? Maybe you're on an entirely new track now, one where Claire never met her fate because you took a different road home. Or maybe the universe is just correcting itself, and this job death gave you is a way of, I don't know, putting you back on schedule? Either way, I hope you don't follow through with it, and that you both stay safe. And that brings me to your final trick, predicting the future. You want me to watch the World Series, I'm going to watch it anyway. You want me to watch on October 17th, see if some act of God happens? All right, I'll bite. I'm going to be watching anyway, even if my Dodgers kind of tank the season despite coming off a World Series victory. That doesn't matter. But if I do see something that day, and it's as big as you're implying, then I'll know one thing for sure. Not necessarily that you were right, but that something out there was listening. And that's the part that really intrigues me. So stay safe, think things through. I honestly don't believe you don't have a choice where everyone lives. I hope you figure it out and take that path. All right. It is September 1st, 1989, and you are here with me, Max Thorn, on The Witching Hour. We'll be right back.
You've reached the Second Sight Detective Agency.
John Larroquette, investigator.
We're detectives. We'll detect.
Bronson Pinchot, psychic.
Don't be worried. It's only hemorrhoids.
Together, they're the Second Sight Detective Agency, where the vibrations are good.
How did he do that?
It's voodoo.
And the future looks great. Second Sight.
I see a comedy in your future.
Rated PG. Starts Friday, November 3rd.